You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello degenerate fucks, and welcome to The Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday the 14th of September, and we're just back doing another episode. It'll be a pretty quick episode today. There wasn't because of the international break, there wasn't a load of games. Obviously, no Premier League, no Championship, 2 games in League One, so the stats, there's not as many. And there wasn't as many bets to go over, so I'm really just going to go over the main bet, and then just some small winners I had, and give my bets for this week, have a quick look at next week. I'll just let you know my bet for this week. I've done something I've never done before, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, look, last week's main bet, Gillingham won, scored in there was 12 minutes injury time and they scored like 97 or something. Swindon won, South Shields won, and Tamworth won. The team that let it down was Stevenage, who were 1-0 up on 2-1 up. And just the way my luck's been recently, Stevenage concede and then Gillingham score. So if it had been the other way around, there would have been a massive cash out, because the bet was paying like 170. So I really, it just happened the wrong way. If it happened the other way, I probably would have been fine. I would have got a decent cash out, but it wasn't to be. So look, it is what it is. I move on, because look, I did get a couple on Saturday evening. Actually, Saturday afternoon, I did a small bet of £6 that I won off free spins on Ladbrokes. Basically, I bet against 2 teams from my local league, in Northern Ireland Premier League, in that Scottish Challenge Cup, where there's teams from Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Just basically because they were playing teams who are basically professional, and the 2 teams that they were playing aren't. Well, I think actually Crusaders, one of the teams might have been, but the real one I fancy was Wraith against Cliftonville. And they started off at the start of the week at 5-6 when I seen it, and then they were like nearly 1-2, just over 1-2 by the time I picked it. But I did them and I did Hamilton, so I got 20 quid, so it was basically helping pay for my weekend. But also the bet I did that night, I cashed out, basically because I needed a winner. So it was £55 9p. Then when you added the other 20 odd, so it was like 75 quid, a decent return for a weekend. I paid for my weekend and a wee bit of profit. And luckily for me, I did get a bit of luck there, because 2 of the selections ended up losing. So, glad that I took that, because it would have just been more frustration. So yeah, so that was decent. Then in midweek, I had 2 bets on Tuesday night. One of them was let down by Peterborough, or the Peterborough game, just 1 goal. Probably should have backed Peterborough just to win that, but with cup games, I'm always, you don't know what team they're going to put out. But they won 2-0. The rest of the bet was up, including some big prices. Ecuador to be over 2.5 was, I think, 6-4 or 8-5. So look, so that was the bet. Then the bet builder I did on the England game, I was basically just waiting on Andy Robertson foul, which he did in about the 85th minute. So that was 67-15. So decent for midweek, on the fact that I haven't really bet much this week, so a good profit so far. Hopefully get one of the weekend's bets up, and that will be better. So looking at the stats, right, as I said, it was basically League One. There was 2 games, 11 in League 2, 12 in National League, 12 National League North, 12 National League South. So in total it was only 49 games, where recently we've been up around the 80s. So I'll run through these quickly. So in the League One, there was one draw and 1 outsider. The draw being the one the Stevenage game. The outsider was Exeter were beaten by Leyton Orient. League 2 was 7 favourites, 2 draws, 2 outsiders. So pretty decent there. National League 5 favourites, 5 draws, 5 outsiders. National League North, 6 favourites, 0 draws, and 6 outsiders. And then the National League South, 8 favourites, 3 draws, 1 outsider. So in total that was 26 favourites, 11 draws, 12 outsiders, which was 53%. in the both teams to score and overs. So overs, both games in League 1 were over. League 2, 7 games over, 4 games not. National League, 7 games over, 5 games not. National League North, 7 games over, 5 games not. National League South, only 5 games over 2.5 and 7 not. So that was 28 and 21. 28 over 21 not, which is 57%, quite high. Pretty good, that. Both teams to score. In League 1, both games were both teams to score. League 2, 8 both to score, 3 not. National League 7 both to score, 5 not. National League North 4 both to score, 8 not. And the National League South 7 both to score and 5 not. Again, 28 and 21, 57%. So decent. Yeah, but not a big section, a big, not a lot of games sort of to look at, but enough to get some sort of stats. So look, going on to this week, and as I said, I've done something I haven't done before. I've done similar stuff before, but I haven't done it like this. So what I've done is, usually sometimes I'll pick, like, say, a 5-timer, and I'll have an extra team that I just can't, and I sort of say to people, if you want to put them in or swap one of my teams out or whatever. And people can always obviously swap teams out if they don't fancy them. That's no one's forcing anybody to follow the bets. But this week I've picked 6 selections, right? And as of yet, I haven't narrowed it down to 5 or 4. I haven't had a lot of time this week to look at the fixtures. I literally only had a few hours. Usually I'll be studying that from Monday and looking through the leagues and looking through the form and etc. So what I've actually done is I've put a fiver on all 6 of these, and then between now and Saturday, probably do it tomorrow, Friday night, I'll whittle it down to either 4 or 5. But again, it's up to you what you want to do with it. What I'm saying is I have both. I'm going to have a 6-timer here that's 33 to 1, and then I'll probably have either a 4-timer or a 5-timer with a tenner on it, and there's only a fiver on the other one. So I'll run through them quickly and then I'll come back and talk about them a bit. So Wrexham 8 to 13 at home to Grimsby. 8 to 13 is 1.62. Swindon at home to Walsall, they're 10 to 11, that's 1.91. Exeter at home to Cheltenham, they're 13 to 20, that's 1.65. Ipswich are away, they're the only away team. They're even money away to Sheffield Wednesday, that's 2.0. Dundee United at home to Morton, they're 4 to 6, that's 1.67. And Preston at home to Plymouth, they're evens as well, which is 2.0. So in total, I say that is 33 to 1. Again, we're not, we've had enough games to have a wee bit of form, so I'm just going to talk about these slightly. But Wrexham have decent home form. With Paul Mullen back, I'm thinking that they might start to kick on now. They've got their top scorer back. Swindon going well in the league, good home form. Walsall not so great away from home. Exeter, bad result last week, not great, but Cheltenham are terrible. They're down the bottom of the league and they've had very few away points. I think 1 point away from home. Ipswich flying in the league. Sheffield Wednesday are in the relegation zone. Now that is an away match, so, and again, games like that could go the other way. Dundee sitting flying towards the top of the league. Morton, they're slightly behind them, but again, Dundee, I think they've had 2 home games, 1 win, 1 draw. But a team like that who got relegated should be winning most of their home games. And then last in Preston, I think everybody's sort of surprise package in the Championship. They are, if they're not top, they're very close to the top, and they're definitely top on form. And Plymouth going okay. They've got some good results, but again, a team from League 1 who just went up. So I would expect Preston to come through that. With a home result. So that's one bet. As I said, that's, if you want to do all 6 of those, that's 33 to 1. I have a fiver on it, but I will make 4 selections from that. I'll have a closer look at the form, and any red flags, I'll drop a team out. But as I say, I do have money on that already. The overs bet this week, again, there's no real need to go into these. Just are the teams scoring at the minute, and some of these games, it's teams are scoring and conceding. Some of these games, teams are scoring a lot, the other team's conceding a lot. So you're looking at 3-0 you're hoping for more than that, 2 1s and 2 H's, whatever, so it's easy. But, not all of these teams are scoring loads of goals, but some of them are conceding a lot of goals. So I'll just run through this quickly. So Fulham versus Luton is 4-5, that's 1.8. Huddersfield Rotherham, even money, 2.0. Newport Borough, even money, 2.0. Crawley Tranmere, 19-20, that's 1.91. And Hartlepool Woking, 13-20, that's 1.65. In total, that's 22-1. And I have a fiver on that, which is 1 point. Just quickly on the points thing, I've started doing that this year. I've always been funny about the whole point thing because a point's different to everybody. But to me, a point is a fiver. And the way I look at a point is, what is your most common bet stake? Some people do it based on your balance and all this bollocks, right? I don't do that. I go, a point is a common stake. That is your most common stake. So if your most common stake is 250, that's a point. So if you are following a bet and someone says put 2 points on it, then you put a fiver on it. If you want to follow their staking plan or the way they would do it. For me, I say a point is a fiver. So most of my bets, if you'll see, are a fiver. The odd bet will have a tenner on it, so I count that as 2 points. That's why I call the main bet, because it's not the bet that I think is going to win most. It's a bet that I'm putting the most money on. So that's how my point thing works. And it's always a good thing to have a balance, yes. And, don't go above it. Only gamble what you can afford to lose. We all know that. But as far as staking, what is your average? I think that's the best way to look at it. What is your average? What do I bet? If I do 10 bets a week, what's the average I put on it? What's the most common amount? And that's your point value. Right, so that's the bets. Looking ahead to next week. So Champions League is back next week, which is good. So Tuesday, there's 6 games in the Championship. There's 3 games in League One. There's some full National League fixture list. There's 12 games in the EFL Trophy, and then there's 8 Champions League games. Wednesday, 6 Champions League games, and another 6 Championship games, 8 Champions League again, and 1 Europa Conference League on a Wednesday night. Thursday, 16 Europa League and 15 Europa Conference League. So a decent amount for midweek there. So football, the normal football has returned, and yeah, that's it. And it's finally for me a bit of profit. A profitable weekend, only a small amount, but then I've added to that. So, let's hope this month can be a positive one, unlike last month where I lost a bit of money. Anyway, that's basically it. Just leaves me to say, if you're doing a bet, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.